Welcome to this week's daily weekly analysis. It's January 31st. This is from February 1st to February 4th, I believe. No, yeah, February 1st to February 5th. So let's jump into what do we see at the end of the month. We'll start off with the monthly and then we'll work our way down. So monthly, we saw monthly go above these highs and create a new high, right? And what happened now is that we approached a monthly level right here. I'm just going to draw the line at 144, right? So this level is at 144 and price has just tapped into it. So as you can see, we saw several months close below this area, 144. A couple months close above before breaking down right here. Candle body is here, right? So right here as well. This is a strong monthly level, as you can see. Lots of price activity in those areas. Same here. See, this is a nice weekly level. Weekly level right here. Drop once it closed below, right? So there's a lot of price activity. Drop, retest below. Here as well, a lot of price activity. So we know that there's a solid zone there. Okay, so that's your zone, 144, and we'll go further into the time frames. Daily, see, daily left a big whip, and a lot of times at the end of the month, what will happen is we'll see large moves. Where institutions and banks will take profit. And this area, 144-ish, the supply level was a very nice area to take profit from the buys that they've all been loading up from here, you know? So now we can start to observe what's going to happen in the market. Right, 12-hour chart. To me, this seems overextended. We're going to have to see. We're going to see some sort of pullback. And then we can start mapping out our intraday levels. So we know 144 exists up here. 44, a couple of pips up, right? Now we can start mapping out our intraday levels. And for that, we can start off with 4-hour, but as you can see, there's a level right here. Okay. There's this 142 right here as well. Okay, we have our level here. And then we can drop into the 1-hour. Okay, so we know this is a very nice level. This is where I took buy last week, right here, 141.33. Buys here. Nice buy opportunity here. Last week 141.2, right? And then we have this level right here as well. All right. So you can see that these are our intraday levels now. These are the intraday levels. We just went over our higher time frame levels, right? We know that we're right below a supply level, that weekly supply right there. As you can see, it's very clean, right? Even last time price came up to 141.5 before dropping. So let's just think about some scenarios that can happen. So currently we're below here, right? But there has been some sort of supply level formed here on the hour chart. 1 second. Right, so we can see these wicks have formed some sort of supply. So maybe during London, we'll see something like this happen. And it will reject, and then price will drop down to 143. That's first scenario, okay? And that's what happened last week too, when price came up to this 1-hour supply during London Open, and then rejected. We fell down to support for better buys. Okay, so this is a very possible scenario that could happen, but you also have to think about in terms of, okay, if we do fall to the support, like how we just mapped out like this, maybe it will push up to further and it can get better sell entries, right? So what we'll have to be watching is for long-term sells to come in. We're going to have to watching for higher time frames shift in structure. Currently, higher time frames are all bullish, right? weekly, monthly, but we just started a new month, so it's quite possible that new month, new flows, right? Plus, we're at a supply level. So let's say you see 4 hour doing something like this. You see 4 hour consolidating, okay, where you see lower highs being printed. If we start breaking structure and you see lower time and you see market structure shifting into bearish, that's your indication that market cycle has reversed. Okay, until we see bearish price action on the higher time frame, that won't signify a trend change. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait for bearish market structure to shift. These are your levels. We can just play these until then, right? So easy how something like this could happen right below 144, or push a little higher than here, tap 144, and then push down. Or like last time, it may do something like this. Push a little further deeper in. Let's say it comes down, pushes deeper in, pushes up, and then structure shifts, and then we can get in, right? So you have to wait for those structure shifts, market structure shift for the valid sells. Like these are your zones. We just watch how price reacts at these zones, right? We don't try to predict, but see how price is coming down here. A lot of people thought it's bearish, right? Because the sells here, but we've got perfect entries here, 141.33 on the reversal. 33 exit up here, 142, 142.6, right? 130 pips. It's quite easy to get these entries. You need to know, we just need to follow price action. So if price comes down here, you start seeing lower time frame shift structure. Don't be afraid to execute buys, right? But also be aware that buys were already at a high, so buys are less likely from here than they were from here, right? So yeah, these are the levels. I think that we're going to see some sort of GG setting up because it is a new month. So beware, just take logical trades. As you can see on the weekly, this is a solid weekly supply level that we are currently at, right? So maybe it might set up and then we'll see price maybe in the next after a few days or following weeks, then the bearish move will start. But otherwise, you see there's a solid range here at 145 as well. So we can push up there as well. So we'll keep that out. Levels here, right there, 140, 148, weekly range, right? So these are just nice ranges that price can play out into. But from currently, we have intraday. We have an intraday supply here, right? Plus it's below the weekly supply, so extra confirmation below 144. You know what we'll do? We'll just remove this and we'll just make this a little higher into 144. So we have that weekly supply, right? And there's an intraday supply below it. So if maybe price comes up, we can see sells from here down till here, 143, right? And then you'd have to see how price reacts here, right? Maybe there's some, maybe you'll do something like down here and then break down, and right? Or it may just as well just come down, push up higher, and then maybe even push up a little higher, and then we'll find enough supply to push down. But currently we are trending bullish. So for long-term sells to work out, you would have to see levels such as this level breaking. We're going to retest down here, then this break. So see how structure would have to shift from higher lows and higher highs to lower highs and lower lows. That would have to happen for trend to change, right? But as you can see, we are at a weekly level, so it's quite possible it changes. Just watch how price reacts to these levels, these zones, and base your trades accordingly to what the market is showing you and not what your bias is, right? It's good to have a bias because it preps you for possible scenarios, but just know, map out your possible levels and just wait and be aware of price movement, key price levels, right? And just watch how price reacts. You know, you're following the market. You're not trying to be a big dog and try to predict exactly what's going to happen. Like here, I didn't predict this. I just reacted to what the market was showing me when I took the buys at 141.33. So as simple as that. Like, and buys from here too, 143, right? Just watch and see what market's telling you and then act accordingly. But yeah, these are my levels. I'm just going to be using these and executing on what the market is showing me. And thanks for watching. Have a good day. Take care. I'll keep updating weekly on the daily with the daily recaps. So people look out for that link and for the Telegram in the description. You can check out. I update nightly on that, send my scenarios, and take care.